What's going on, everyone? This is Tommy B, and welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to put a video out there with a little topic of discussion that's pretty common amongst the American and actually just worldwide workforce, which would be the boundaries of a manager and associate's working relationship. It's a lot of different topics that you can touch on. With personal experience myself being in management for the last 7 years, I've definitely come across, have seen and noticed a lot of different things, and I feel this is a topic that needs to be touched on a lot more because it's more than just, your personal connection, which is something that is definitely okay to have with any of your, coworkers. It's the things that people take advantage of that really, irks me, and, that's one of my pet peeves. I would always say the responsibility of the job definitely comes before the coworker's relationship. At the end of the day, it just has to. You're reporting to somebody else. So the productivity, the work effort, the relationships that you're building with your customers, that's really the most important thing at work. It's all fun and games, on the side when you're not on the work floor, or if you're working in an office, after hours, you want to have a little chat here and there. It's all fun and games to say that's okay, but you want to make sure that you're putting the work first. Like I said it again, of course it's okay to be friendly, supportive, and caring of each other. As a manager, I've definitely been that way to my associates too. I have empathy for them with certain situations. Are there other situations where exaggerations may take into account? Of course. People who sometimes are sick may exaggerate that because they really are not sick and they just don't want to come to work. Or, in another case, people have lied to me in the past about deaths in their family, which is something that, right hand to God, I don't believe in ever saying something like that. I believe in karma. I'm spiritual, and it's just something you don't want to really, brush up against that topic. So, I've definitely heard and seen a lot of different things regarding, excuses being made, but it's definitely okay to be friendly and supportive, of your coworker, of your associate, whatever the case may be. But you also want to make sure you're setting boundaries on topics of conversations because, yeah, it's cool to joke around. Again, you can approach that border, you can approach that limit, but once you cross that boundary, that person that you're speaking with can use that against you in the future. I've seen an associate and a manager have interactions outside of the workplace where once they're inside of the workplace, that associate can take advantage of not doing as much work because the manager really doesn't feel comfortable addressing that to that specific associate because of their relationship outside of work. Also, I've seen another associate and a manager in the past, have occurrences where, there are, hooking up. So at the end of the day, it's game, set, match over at that point. That's why I always say don't shit where you eat. It's really tough to do that. Obviously, if you find the love of your life, that's one story. But if it's just like a little fling and you're doing what you're doing, it's really going to affect your job. It can actually end up getting you fired. Now, is it worth it? Most likely not. But this is something that's really important to talk about as well. And then, like going out after work for a drink as a group, that's cool. If you're going out after work for a drink with one-on-one with another, associate, say you're the manager. I've never been in that situation where I've had an associate gone out to drinks one-on-one with them. I have gone out in groups with my associates to have a drink after work. Being a manager, I was totally comfortable. We were in a large group. Had one drink. It was appropriate. Nothing was said that was crossing the line. You want to build that team rapport outside of work, which is good because it'll help your relationship inside of work. But if you're going out after work with one associate, one-on-one, you're putting yourself in a scenario where you really are not able to backtrack from. You're staring down a rabbit hole, and you're really lining yourself up to fail at that point at your job. Your job security has definitely gone out the window at that point. Now, has people done it without any problems? Of course they have. It's very common, but why take that risk? Is making, 80 grand a year, whatever you're making in your management role, worth it, losing that job over a couple nights out with one of your associates? Also, it's going to affect your attitude while you're at the workplace, while you're trying to have your team perform the duties that are necessary to drive productivity. without that, productive edge, without that, focus that should be constant, you're going to have somebody on your team that's a missing link because they have had a relationship outside of the workplace with you. It's going to affect the whole team, comes back and bites you in the butt. Then your boss is asking you what's going on with this person. How come you're not having any difficult coaching conversations with them? Why aren't you writing them up? This person's obviously slacking. So then it becomes a place where you actually are put into a situation where you have to write them up, and that specific person that you've developed a relationship, now it's even more awkward than ever. You're looking at each other like, what the fuck do I do? It's a spontaneous human combustion at that point, spiraling out of control, no place to go. You're completely fucked. So, it's just a little tidbit I think is, something to think about. Pretty sure, this has definitely been talked about over the years. It's a common topic of discussion. It's just something that I think we need to, bring up more often now, more than ever, with social media out there. It's going in a direction where we have to remember that, at the end of the day, we got to stay responsible with who we are, and if you're trying to work hard in life, you want to, succeed at your job. It's better to, get your feet planted at your job first. If you're searching for a relationship, that's cool. It's just really tough to mix those two together because at the end of the day, business and pleasure, the common term, doesn't mix, brother. All right. Well, that's Tommy B for you tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave any feedback that you can. Guys, have a great evening. Guys and gals, take it easy.
Wanna put 3 in me, nail me. This is stuff you only read in the daily. Had product but ain't supply it then. High up more than weed, so the product just got me higher than product of my environment.